Hello lovelies, you're welcome to my channel. I am Vivian. So today I'll be teaching you how to make this off-shoulder ruffle cape. You can see how beautiful it is, and it is very easy to make. So if you want to know how I made this, just keep watching. So to make your ruffle, you need to know how to make a flay. Okay, so it is from flay we'll make the ruffle. Now in my previous video I taught how to make a 360-degree flay, because that is what we'll be using to make the ruffle, a 360-degree flay. So just in case you don't know how to make a flay, I'll be leaving the link to the video in the description box below. Do check it out, it is very detailed. And just to explain to you, to make the flay, a flay is a big circle, okay, that has another small circle in it. Now to get this small circle, what you would do is you would take your circumference. So wherever you be adding the flay to, be it as a peplum, that is as a peplum top, you'll be adding it to the waist, or wherever, or you'll be adding it at the nail of a gown. So wherever you'll be adding the peplum to, that is where you would measure. So in this case, we'll be adding it at the neck line. Okay, we'll be adding this at the neck line. So you will measure your neckline. So let me use this dress as an example. You measure the round neckline. By the time you have measured it, so let me say this measurement here is 40, because I cut my flay with 40 inches. Okay, so if you have measured your neckline, whatever you get, divide it by 6.28. 6.28 is standard. It's a formula for getting radius, because you want to cut this inner circle, so you need to find the radius, R for radius, okay, to be able to cut the inner circle, to be able to cut the radius. So when you have measured your that is the round shoulder or the neckline, wherever you want to attach this ruffle to, okay, you measure the round shoulder or the neckline, then you divide it, whatever you have, divide it by 6.28. By the time you have divided it by 6.28, you cut it out from your flay. That is just when you watch the video on how to cut a flay, or if you already know how to cut a flay, then you get that. So now we'll move straight ahead. So I have cut out my flay. This is it. So by the time you watch the video, you know how I cut out this flay. So this is my area. This is the area I'll be attaching to the shoulder or the neckline. Okay, so we'll be attaching this ruffle at the round shoulder area. So now, having done this, by the time you have cut out your flay, you will have your flay in this form. Okay, by the time you cut your flay, it will be like this. It will be like this. So the next thing to do is to notch. You notch this part, you notch this part, and you notch this part. Okay, so when immediately you cut out the flay, before you open it up, you just notch this part. You notch this side. You also notch this other side. Okay, then you also go down just the same way, the corresponding side of it at the down part, you also notch it. Okay, just give it a little notch. You do the same to the other side. Do the same to the other side of it. Make sure it's corresponding. Okay, the corresponding side of it, you just go down there and you give it a little notch also. So have it there. So by the time you have notched it, what you will do next is to open it up. So you just open it up like this. So when you open it up, You bring the notch from the down to meet the notch at this point. So you just bring it to meet at the point and you hold it down with pin. So by the time you bring it, that is, you bring the inner side, this is the wrong side this time. You turn your fabric to the wrong side facing up, so that by the time you bring it together, this is the right side now. So you just bring it together and you pin it. Okay, so you come to this side, you from the down notch, you bring it to meet the up notch, the center notch, then you pin it. Just pin it. So you do the same thing to all the 4 sides you notched. Do the same thing to all the 4 sides. Okay, so come to this side and I'll also pin it down. So this is it. So I have pinned the 4 sides and this is what I have. So I make this very big. So to make this, by the time you have measured the neckline or the round shoulder where you'll be placing this, you decide the length of flay you want. So the bigger it is, the more the ruffle, the bigger the flay, that is the length of the flay, the more you have the ruffle. So let's say this is, you have folded your fabric to make your flay. You have folded your fabric into 4 to make your flay. Okay, so by the time you have marked out your radius, so the length of the flay, the longer it is, the more the ruffle. Okay, but if you make it short, you actually have a ruffle, but it will not be very big. So the length of this flay, so let me just make it like this. So the length of the flay, by the time you cut it out, will determine how big or how small your ruffle will be. So I took a length of 20 inches. After measuring the round shoulder, the round shoulder is 40. So the round shoulder is 40 inches. The 40 inches divided by 6.28. I had 6.5. Okay, that is for my radius. So the length of the flay I took from my radius, the length of the flay is 20 inches plus 1 inch. Okay, I added 1 inch for hemming, that is 21 inches. So just in case you want to do exactly this size, what I took was 21 inches for my length. Why the shoulder differs, so it depends on where you want to join this ruffle. So for the shoulder where I'll be joining this ruffle, it is 40 inches. So that is it. So now, having brought all the notches together, you can now open one side of the ruffle of the notch you made. Then you cut it open, just following the notch from one notch to the other. Just cut it open. So you can actually mark this if you want it. Okay, just want to have it straight, you can actually mark it. You can use your ruler to make sure you're cutting from one of the notch to the other. So mark it like this, make a straight line, then you cut it open. So now I'll just cut it open. See what I did, from one notch to the other, I've opened it up. So this will be, because you'll be, by the time you're joining this, if you're joining it to a dress that has zipper, you know, you have to open it. So you join from one side all around and you come back to this side. Okay, so that is why you need to open it up. So by the time you have opened it up, remember this is the wrong side. Like I said, this is the right side. Now you fold it like this from the wrong side so that you can close it up, you can stitch it. So I'll hold it down with my pin, then I would sew it on the wrong side. So let me just hold it down with pin to show you how you sew it. So this is it. So now I'll take it to my machine. I'll sew. So the same thing you do to this side. You bring the wrong side, you take it up like this. Okay, so you're folding at the right side. This is the right side, this is the wrong side. So you're folding at the right side. So by the time you sew, your stitches will be inside, will be at the wrong side. Okay, so just the way I'm holding it with my pin, that is how I'll just go ahead and just sew it. So I have sewn the two sides. So I use the lighter color thread so that you can see it. So you can see now. I'll turn it back to the right side. Turn it to the right side, and you have it like this. So remember the notches I pinned down. So turning it to the right side. So you can notch it at this point so that you can easily turn it. So you have it there. So now this is what we have. This is what we have. You can see at this point where we pinned down, this is the center. You can see the two centers. You can see at the point where we pinned down, in between, you will see we have excess. We have a lot here. We will pleat this. Okay, so we'll pleat. What you do, all the edges here, we want to pleat it round. Then all this excess, the excess we'll have here, you will just pleat it in. So let me just start from this side and show you. This is the center back where we cut. Now we want to put the mouth, as we want to put all these edges together and we'll pleat. You pleat. So just pleat whichever way you want. So just pleat it. It doesn't matter, you can do kissing pleats or whatever pleat you want. So you just pleat it. You see the excess, so you just pleat. So when you're sewing, this is what you do. Just pleat it, making sure that all the edges come together. All this excess is what you'll be pleating in, so that you have all the edges together. So the essence of doing it like this is to have the full ruffle. Okay, so just watch what I'm doing. This is what you do on your sewing machine. So you just pleat. You sew it starting from here. You just bring all the edges to, that is, you just start pleating the edges like this. So as you're pleating all this excess, you just bring them like so. Okay, so maybe I should hold it down with my pin so that you see it. That's what you do when you're sewing it. Just pleat by any length you want. What we want to achieve here is just to have all these edges pleated together all round. So as you're pleating, you're bringing the excess in. Just pleat. So you just pleat like so. So you can see. So you do this while you are sewing it. Just keep pleating it. So you can see what we have here already. So this is what you do all through until you get to the other end. Okay, so just keep pleating and you sew. So you just keep pleating and you just sew all the edges like that. As you pleat, you sew. As you pleat, you sew. So I'll just go ahead and do that. So by the time I finish sewing it, you will see it. So this is it. You can see what we have here. This is just how you keep pleating it and you sew. So by the time you have gotten to the next notch, you just continue like that. You just keep sewing it. Then you meet another excess like that. You pleat again. Just keep pleating them. Just keep pleating until you have finished sewing it. So by the time I finish sewing it, it will be clearer to you. Okay? So I have pleated it so you can see it. Okay? Like I said, that excess you have after pinning the edges you notched, all you do, just pleat it to meet the edges of the flay, and you pleat it all round, and this is what you have. You can see it. Okay, this is one flay. I hope you know. That is why I say the length of the flay will determine how big it will be. So like I took 20 inches for the length of my flay. By the time I finish pleating it, you can see what I have here. You can see what is left. Okay, so it is now time to attach it to your gown or to the blouse, wherever you want to attach it to. I haven't actually made the dress where I'll be attaching this to. I just came across this and I decided to share it with you, my lovely subscribers, just to show you how it is made. So I'll be using this dress as an example, because by the time I make the dress I'll be attaching it to, it will be an off-shoulder dress. So by the time you have made your off-shoulder dress, okay, this actually has a cape. So just like the way you attach cape to your dress, that is how you would attach this. Okay, I have a video on how I made this dress. So the way I attached this cape to this dress, that is how you attach this ruffle. By the time you have attached it, then you start making the ruffle. So I'll show you. You will use your needle and thread to tack it to your desired design. Okay, so I'm taking this cape back inside just to show you how you fix your ruffle. So by the time you have made your off-shoulder dress and you have fixed your sleeve to it, this is an off-shoulder dress, you can see. Then I fixed the short sleeve, that is the small sleeve, and you have this. So you make a dress that looks like this. Then you get your ruffle. So you start attaching from the back, from the center back, where you have your zipper. You attach from there. So this is how you attach it. You turn it. Okay, let me just show you from the front. You will turn your ruffle this way. You will sew it to the neckline. So by the time you have finished sewing, you turn it. You have it like this. So this side will be inside. Okay, by the time you turn it, it will look like this. So let me use pin to show you. So I'll be doing this with pin. So you start from the center back. You start from this back where you have your zipper. Then you start sewing. So I'll just use pin to hold it down all round to the front. So this measurement here is actually not the same measurement with what I have here. So I'll pleat it as I go along. I'll pleat it to fit in the neckline. So whatever neckline you have measured, that is what you should have by the time you have done your flay. So but if the flay is wider, no problem, because you're making a ruffle, so it will also be beautiful. So if the flay is wider, what you will do as you sew it to your neckline, you pleat it to fit into the neckline. Okay, so I'll go ahead and sew that is, just use my pin to hold this all round on this dress, so that you have an idea of how it is fixed. So by the time I finish holding it with pin, if I turn it, I'll have it this way. So I'll do just that and I'll show you. Okay, so when you have joined it to the neckline, that is the neckline of the dress, you should have something like this. Okay, this is cape also. This is cape. So to have that ruffle, what you will do now, you make the ruffle by yourself using needle and thread. So whichever way you want it to be, that is what you will do. So you just tack. Okay, you just tack the ruffle. You make the ruffle. You just prepare your hand needle and thread. Okay, so you make the ruffle the way you want. You bring it anyhow you want it. Then you tack it down with needle, your hand needle. So that is just what I'm showing you like this. So whatever way is something you do, and you can adjust it. You can do it the way you want. So I'm just using pin to show you, because this is not where I'll be sewing it to. So you just ruffle it the way you want it. and wherever, I mean, after doing it the way you want, you just use your hand needle and thread to sew it down there. Okay, so you just tack it down to the dress. So that is just what you will do. That is just what you will do. So you just tack it down to the dress like that, and at the end you have your ruffle. Okay, so you can see it. So it's just arranging it the way you want. As you arrange it, you tack it with your needle and thread, just the way I'm doing with my pin. So that is it. So you can see it here. You can see what we have here. So you keep doing that until you get to the back. When you're done with the front side, you also do same to the back, and you have your ruffle. You have it. This is beautiful. So if you want it as full as this, just take that measurement I took 20 inches for the length of the flay. So you should know how to make flay. Then the length of the flay, take 20 inches. But if you don't want it this big, you can reduce the length of your flay. So you just keep tacking. As you make the ruffle, you tack. As you make the ruffle, you tack to your desired design, to whatever you want, and make sure you're using a matching color thread to tack so that it won't show. So you can see this is beautiful. Okay, so I hope this tutorial has been helpful to you. So I just arranged this on this fabric to see how it will look, and I think this is beautiful. So I'll go ahead and make the gown. So please give this video a like. Okay, just give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Just hit on that subscribe button. It is absolutely free. Then turn on the notification bell beside it so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Also join us on our Facebook group. Okay, you can make this style and show it to us on our Facebook group, Fashion and Styles with McVivi. I'll be leaving the link in the description box below, or you search on Facebook Fashion and Styles with McVivi. See you.